isn't as many people as you think. I think I agree with you, though. I think it's more than 3%. I haven't spoken to a couple people on the YouTube say, no, I actually like the rat. I like her. She's doing a good job.
Oh,
But
I like Teresa and Louie way more than the rat. I
oof, you
don't,
poor thing. You poor thing.
I know you're in the world, really, you know RHONJ a lot better. But I mean, I just take Teresa and Louie for what they are, which is amazing television. Now, I know behind the scenes, I'm
Yeah.
sure what they do, if I was in that circle and feeling their wrath, I would feel way different. But I love
They're
my
like little scumbags behind the scene. That's the problem I have. But
I met my Louie in Vegas. He thought I worked for NBC. He was looking for the penthouse party. Why I didn't follow Louie and pretend that I was with NBC?
yeah,
I'll never forgive myself. However, he seemed nice. The guys he was with were very polite. So I don't know. I don't dislike Teresa as much as you do, but you're also an expert in it. And I'm sure if you watched Sister Wives, like
mhm.
I actually love Mary. Mary's not really a fan favorite, and Christine and Janelle are fan favorites. And I sort of don't like Christine as well this season. And that's very, very unpopular. People love Christine. So
Is it as unpopular as me saying, I don't really see what Alexis did so wrong? Was it as unpopular as that? Or more unpopular? Are you being
well,
scandalous with the wives?
am I being scandalous? No, because I don't go super hard because I know, especially with TLC, they really edit. I mean, they edit all these shows, right? But they really edit. You know, Cody and Robin are the villains of this show, and they do like at every turn, TLC just like makes him look like a shithead. Like every turn, I don't even think. Well, they try to redeem them once in a while, and they're trying to redeem Robin a bit this season, but they dump all over him. So
You
I just
have,
get
and
tired of
by the way,
shitting on the
everybody,
person. I'm
Sarah, you have the number one Sister Wives podcast. We see you. You're trending girl with those wives. Number one Sister
like,
Wives podcast. Guys, if you want to talk about the wives, go to
it is
Sarah.
true. It is the number one, and I
I've
report on
never
their real
seen
lives.
I've
What's
yeah.
going on in there. And there's a lot actually. What's amazing about this season is there's a lot going on in their personal lives, which sometimes doesn't always happen with TLC people. But Christine Brown Woolley and David and Cody Brown are suing one another
Ooh,
for
girl.
well, she's suing him for custody, and she wants child support. It's good. It's good. And he's just bought a $2.1 million house. There's a lot of juicy stuff. So if you enjoy kind of like we do the recap of the gossip and the insight, I do have the
Mhm.
number one Sister Wife show.
You do. That's why we all tune in. I'll give it a listen. What was I gonna? I'll learn about the
Always says
wives.
this after 4 years.
No,
Thank you.
I'm gonna. Well, I don't listen to podcasts, but yours I'm gonna listen to, and I'm gonna do the wives. I
You
don't know.
help
So
other ways, so I don't care. Okay, go
I
on.
I think the rat has somewhat of a point. I do think she's not going anywhere, and I think it's more than 3%. But a lot of times the noise, it's louder than we think. Like it's, like I think if you're into that Reddit, like bullshit, like when you look into a phone, it's a whole nother world. And I think, that's where I did my 2 hour show on Teresa Giudice will be back because in our world, and she's up to this behind the scenes, to your point, here's a great example. We have a innocent viewer, Sarah Fraser, who loves Louie and Teresa. Like
You don't find them
Kelly, Kelly Ripa. Like the general masses, I think, aren't as in as what's the word? As informed as Sarah and David and these wonderful listeners. I think they're just like, of course Teresa's coming back. So to your point. So I think the rat has a point, but I agree with you way more than 3%. What else you got on over there? I'm pulling out
Andy
some
Cohen.
notes.
I love it. Andy
Oh,
Cohen talks Bethany Frankel, reality reckoning. I mean, Andy's like the genius of saying nothing, saying
uh,
everything and saying nothing. This was such a headline grab. And really, they ask him, what about Bethany in reality reckoning? And he says, I'm so busy developing these shows, and the shows have had just incredible seasons and talent. I don't pay much attention to it, what's going on. And we're really working at Bravo the experience and so he really says much of nothing, which is he's not paying attention. So I guess people think he's shading Bethany. He doesn't speak to Bethany, hasn't spoken to Bethany, and he says that he doesn't keep up with Bethany because Bethany does TikTok and he's not on TikTok. Now,
I
if
saw.
that ain't media training, as if this man doesn't know what's going on TikTok. But okay.
Mhm.
I mean, right? I mean, give me a break. This guy is like all genius, all Oz here, okay? Oz of television. Doesn't
And
know what's going on TikTok, doesn't have a burner. I mean, please.
I agree with you. And he says some other things that Garcia, who I never heard of a girl named Monica Garcia. We have Bronwyn, who
Oh, and
is
Mary Cosby.
yeah, who Sarah Fraser calls a parrot. He's like, look, you have to admit that that's the problem with, and I like her. She was on this show, but that's the problem with someone like a Garcia or like a shtick, like where it's like Bronwyn has legs. She's not getting fired. I mean, there's a 0% chance she will be back. You know, I also saw something. Did you read? I don't know where I read this article that the Salt Lake cast is the most protected in terms of not protected for any reason, but just like, it's the least likely to have changes right now. But still, what do you think about it? Year five, Barlow ain't going anywhere. Rose, Gay, Marks, like these people are all coming back. Mary, now you add Bronwyn. Bronwyn's coming back. Angie K, she's coming back. So, like, it's whatever they're doing, like it's working. Do you know what I'm saying? There's even grumblings. Oh, I think I read it in the same article where I read there's grumblings about the OC. People say there's grumblings that the cast is going to be changed. I call bullshit. I think it's going to be the same cast. They had a great season. They could have done a little better with ratings, but I think they did well enough. Yeah.
I agree with everything that you're saying. And isn't it hard when you're a Garcia, when you're a Jen Shaw, where you think, oh, just wait, the next season, they're going to be missing me, which in the case of Roni, I miss Ramona. I
Yeah.
miss Sonia Rita. I
Mm-hmm.
miss Luann. I miss the old Bethany. I miss Carol Rad as well. So sometimes you really roll that dice, don't you? And for Garcia, you've got to be sitting there going, oh, fuck, we don't need her. It's
Bronwyn has legs.
Jen Shaw. I
And
know.
and Andy said which I have always said this. It's not about me, but I truly agree with Andy in the sense I have always said this because I believe it. I really, for me, the sum of the whole is greater than its parts. I truly didn't miss Bethany. I truly didn't miss LVP. I love Bethany on Roni, old Bethany, but the next season for me was just as good. Beverly Hills without LVP was just as good. Like I don't miss the big tickets. Everyone always says nee 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 nee, blah, 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 blah.
Well, we did miss her for quite a while.
Well,
We did
Atlanta
for a
is
long time, but
trash. Yeah, but I mean, to me, Atlanta had good moments without the queen, as the kids say.
we're missing the queen. I'm going to be honest.
But
Unless
now
this
we
next
are,
season,
yeah.
I mean, if RHOA, if this next season, I mean, we're going into this next season without Candy. Although Candy's kind of lost it for me over the past couple of years. I mean, I love my Candy gal, my other Candy gal.
Honey, we're going into this next season without Kenya fucking Moore. I mean, hello.
It's like you roll the dice. But I mean, I think that the thing with a Bethany, with a Nene, with a Kenya is they've been there so long, you really miss them. Sonia, Ramona. Um, Garcia only had that one season, while
Mhm.
memorable. And maybe Bravo kind of learned their lesson, right? Where they were like, you know what? We got to cut somebody off